toast, buddy!
What's up, guys? I wanted to make a video to sort out the timeline of all the lies Carrie has told surrounding her friendship with Shanny and Jason, aka Revelation News, whether or not she was a mod and or channel member on their platforms, and the time period of when she did a complete 180 and started reviewing Shanny and Jason for content. And to Carrie, who says this about channels who give her criticism.
Oh, thank you for the super chat. You said they never show receipts for their claims about Carrie, though. Weird. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it's disappointing.
This video is packed with receipts just for you, even the ones you tried to delete. Nice try though. Many of the usernames that will be seen in this video are no longer supporting Carrie. Just because you see someone's name in the screenshots and or clips I'm about to play doesn't mean they endorse or condone Carrie's behavior. Carrie has had many groups of people leave her community for various reasons, including, but not limited to, Carrie's problematic behavior and the toxic environment of her Discord server where racism, transphobia, and talking people's minor children occur. Yikes. Sounds peachy. Also, this video is not an excuse to harass or bully anyone mentioned, so please don't be weird. The timeline starts on May 30th, 2021, when Shanny and Jason were criminally evicted from their townhome in Colorado. By May 31st, 2021, a video walkthrough of how they were living surfaced, and it was heartbreaking. It showed just how neglectful and abusive Shanny and Jason were to the children, confirming what many had witnessed on live streams for years. To say it was really, really bad would be an understatement. The earliest date I have been able to find where Carrie watched the walkthrough video was March of 2022, where she commented under a video called ShannyforChrist, YouTube's ultimate train wreck, November 28th, 2021, on a channel called Foodie Beauty, where they gave credit to my channel as well as multiple others for clips used in their video. Carrie is seen in the comments section saying this on March 19th, 2022. March of 2022, almost a year after the abuse was exposed, and after literally hundreds of channels had streamed and made countless videos exposing Shanny and Jason, Carrie was seen interacting with them. If March of 2022 looks familiar to those Shanny connoisseurs out there watching this, you'll know this was the time of the tire scam. During that time, G-Man was threatening to pew-pew me in the face and go after someone's children because I had made a video exposing the lies about Shanny and Jason's tires and the aggressive e-begging that was taking place. Shanny, Jason, and G-Man claimed myself and others physically showed up at the house where Shanny and Jason were staying and slashed the tires with rebar. Yeah. In reality, the tires had a blowout due to a lack of basic maintenance. Carrie was around in Shanny and Jason's chat as a channel member and was cool with them while this was occurring. More on G-Man and Carrie's defense of him later. March 1st, 2022, Carrie was seen in Shanny's live chat talking about DMing Shanny on Instagram. Notice the heart next to her name, indicating she was a channel member. March 11th, 2022, Carrie is seen on Shanny's channel as a channel member, talking to Jason as he is actively doxing a content creator and planning on falsely calling the cops on him, his family, including a young child. March 15th, 2022, Jason calls Carrie a cunt, and their friendship fell out. Or at least it seems she was no longer around after that. Until March 19th, 2022, there's that date again, Carrie was on IG, geeking with them yet again. So on March 19th, she was sending them kissy face emojis on IG, but laughing at their steep demise on Foodie Beauty's channel, okay? After this screenshot was shared on YouTube, she made her IG account private and scoffed and or blocked anyone who asked questions. June 7th, 2022, Jason was arrested for child abuse and he spent 13 days in jail. During that time, Carrie was once again friends with them, admitted to talking on the phone with him, texting back and forth, and in DMs. One call, she was a witness to CPS knocking on the door and Shanny telling her children to hide so they weren't caught.
I was talking to her and CPS showed up at the house. And I literally could hear them boom, 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 banging on the door, trying to get her to come to the door. And I heard her tell the boys, go in your room and be quiet. And stay in there till I tell you to come out. And she literally sat there in silence and made them be quiet until the till CPS left and stopped knocking on the door and went. And I thought, that's really weird, because if you don't have anything to hide, what does it matter? Just let them in. You know what I mean? So that, I found that to be kind of strange.
She claims June 22nd, 2022, one day after Jason was released from jail, was the last day she was friends with Shanny.
And he's leaving Pennsylvania. He never wants to come back. They're both trying to act like he's not there. Meanwhile, she's giving me texts saying she's him, so he was there. So I just screenshotted it, and I went over, I was watching Drag live, and I shared the screenshot with him. And I shared the screenshot with Secular Opinion. And of course, immediately my phone started blowing up with her. Like, she was calling. She was pissed. And I just didn't answer. Like, I literally never talked to her again from that point on.
That same week, Shanny's children were taken for the 6th and hopefully the last time. As of the making of this video, the children are still in foster care, and Shanny's parental rights are in danger of being taken due to her unwillingness to comply with CPS. In a two-part interview on September 1st and September 7th of 2022, Carrie recalls what happened that day.
She claims that, CPS wasn't like keeping her in the loop with what was going to happen with him. But, the truth is they tried to keep her in the loop. They tried coming to her house and she didn't answer the door. So how are they? Right. How are they supposed to keep you in the loop if you're not, answering to them? And, as far as like what has happened with CPS, and since then, even though the charges were dropped legally for him, CPS
you wasn't supposed to be there.
Right. CPS was still already involved and knew what had went down. I mean, you have to keep in mind that all those videos and things that she was putting out there, they were watching that too.
Please note that she admits here that CPS was already involved. This is important to point out because it shows she, in fact, knew that CPS was already involved. And therefore, when my channel and many others were telling people this during that time, she understood why we were saying it wasn't good for people to continuously mass call CPS, because Jason was in jail and CPS was already involved investigating. Carrie's community later in 2023 claimed that myself, Jules Tells All, The Geek Room, Dragnot, etc. purposely told people not to call CPS back in 2022 because we wanted the abuse to continue.
Well, thank you for the super chat, Girl Next Door. You said, Jules told people not to call CPS for the kids despite them being abused for years with no intervention. Now she's giving them money. I think it's clear what her agenda is. Oh, good point. You got a good point there.
Pretty up, considering all of our channels, as well as many other individuals, help collect evidence of the abuse for CPS. Carrie knew CPS was already involved and that random people online mass calling them wasn't helping the situation. Why she is now helping to spread the lie that our channels didn't want CPS involved is pretty up. Also, in those September 1st and 7th, 2022 interviews, she talked about how she found Shanny's channel for the first time. Her claim was that she watched the Cecil McFly documentary, and that was her first introduction to Shanny and Jason, along with other peripheral characters like G-Man.
Oh, sorry, let me just make sure I got everything, what you just said. So basically, you found her from Cecil, you were like, oh wow, check this person out. And then you decided to kind of talk to her, and then after that, when like around June 7th, I have on my copy of the report is when the incident went down.
How long did we actually stay in touch? I followed her and watched her streams and stuff for about a year, but it was like I was, hate watching her. I was watching her to make fun of her and see all the ridiculous they did. But then when Rev got arrested for kicking the kid, she did a live on Instagram about it. She was crying. She was, saying she was going to leave him. She wasn't going to be with him anymore. She wanted to do what was best for her kids and, all this stuff about making a change. And I actually and do what's right for her kids, then I didn't mind supporting her in a way. You know what I mean?
So, when did the Cecil McFly documentary on Shanny and Jason drop? It premiered on March 30th, 2020, so before the townhome eviction in May of 2021. I have no idea when she watched the Cecil McFly documentary, as Carrie has not been exactly forthcoming with details surrounding how and when she found Shanny. But if she wasn't lying about being introduced to Shanny via Cecil's video, then she would have had to have watched the documentary between November 2021 and March 2022. More on that November date later. So, we've established that she became friends with Shanny and Jason after she watched the documentary and the walkthrough video, and that she was a channel member on their platforms. But was she ever a mod? September 28th, 2023, she says this. But this is not what she said the year before in September of 2022.
And then, like, this video here is from June 21st. And that's the actual day that she actually made you a mod, right?
Right, and see, that day that she made me a mod was literally the day that he got out of jail.
Many people swear that they were blocked by Carrie in Shanny's chats when they were calling out the child abuse. Carrie denies this, of course, but then again, she also denies ever being a Shanny mod. So, when did she go from their friend, channel member, and mod to reviewing them every day, and why? By the summer of 2022, Carrie, often with her husband Michael on panel with her, started reviewing Shanny and Jason on a regular basis, with many days streaming multiple times a day. Currently, all of those earlier streams are no longer on her channel, with September 25th, 2022 being her oldest live stream listed, and August 31st, 2022 as the oldest video she uploaded. I'm unsure why she deleted all of those earlier streams, but she has a pattern of deleting things that she doesn't want to be questioned about later. Just something I've noticed. She became obsessed with being the first one to rush to go live the second Shanny went live. As of the making of this video, she still streams every day, sometimes 3 times a day. During this early part of her channel was called Love My Little Music Box. Here is someone who has since left Carrie's community who gave her a shout out early on. Additionally, she was also still reaching out to Shanny on social media. Another interesting fact is that she also had another username called Dear Prudence 13, which she still uses as her name on social media platforms. What's interesting about this is while Shanny and Jason were still in their townhome in Colorado, there were a lot of people who saw that account in Shanny's chat. There are also many people who have come to me saying they 100% saw the Dear Prudence 13 account in Shanny's chats before the walkthrough video occurred in May of 2021. I have zero proof of this, but the sheer amount of people who don't know each other and are from different YouTube communities makes me wonder if there's some validity to this.
When he got arrested for that 2 weeks, that's when we actually started talking one-on-one and got, closer or whatever, and we're friends just for that time. So when she says that I faked being her friend for a year and all this kind of stuff, that's just not true. That's not the way that worked out. And I didn't fake being her friend for the 2 weeks. Like I said, I genuinely did feel bad for her and was trying to be supportive.
I watched her. I came across her through Cecil McFly, that documentary that she did on her. And then I looked into her, started watching her streams, and definitely did not like her. I mean, I definitely did not. I thought she was not a good person, and just very, ridiculous the way that they would act, begging for money and doing all the stuff that they do. And then when Rev was arrested that night, she went on Instagram and started doing lives and saying that he hurt the son, that he kicked her son in the head, and she swore she was done with him, she was going to break up with him, and she was crying. And I looking back now, I don't know why I felt sympathy for her, but I actually did feel bad for her. And that's when, just for that period of 2 weeks while he was in jail, we did talk personally, and I was friendly with her. But when he got the day that he was getting released, and her kids came in crying about him coming back in the house, and then literally like an hour after he got home, she sent me a text saying oh, well, I just got laid. I was just like, wow, this is a horrible person. Like, how could she do her kids like that? And I was done. I mean, from that moment, any kind of little bit of sympathy or respect that I had for her went right out the window.
Either way, Carrie has already admitted she felt sorry for them and actively sought out a real friendship with them after she saw confirmation of the child abuse and so many other horrific things. In my opinion, that's damning enough. October 7th, 2022, she reviewed the now infamous townhome walkthrough video where the severe neglect of the children was heart-wrenchingly displayed. I have been told she reviewed the walkthrough video before this date, where she talked about watching it the day it was premiered on Dragnot's channel in 2021, but I have yet to confirm this. Carrie's current claim is that she didn't know Shanny existed back in May of 2021 when the walkthrough video was filmed and first posted on YouTube. I have yet to confirm when exactly she started watching Shanny's streams. The earliest I can confirm is her own words.
Thanksgiving for so many freaking years.
Yeah, right. You didn't do it last year, I remember.
Hi,
CPS
Maddie.
had to come and bring them food because they literally had nothing.
So, she was streaming Shanny November 15th, 2022, and said she remembered watching Shanny the year before in November of 2021, and even recalled CPS had to show up to make sure the kids had food. I'm still not able to get past the fact that Carrie sought out a friendship with Shanny after knowing she was abusing her kids. October 16th, 2022, Carrie did a stream with the title, My Experience with ShannyforChrist.
Was the membership worth it? Yeah. It was only $2, so it didn't cost a lot to begin with, but yeah, I mean, it was worth it to be able to talk in the chat and say anything, because like I said, I couldn't talk at all in there because she had blocked me for something that I had said before. So that's why I did it.
So she was in Shanny's chats before she was a member.
We've actually had words a couple of times since all these things went down, but this next one that you're going to watch is just a little clip of me when she was on streaming on YouTube playing Stardew Valley.
What? Every time she tells this story, it seems to evolve. Carrie then reviews the stream where Shanny was calling her a fake friend, claiming Carrie only became friends with her to get info to share with the Shanny reaction channels. Carrie made sure to say she was not a fake friend to Shanny. But Carrie admits a lot more in this stream as well. She talks about how she basically has no life or friends outside of YouTube and sees her audience as her real friends.
I don't have a lot of, friends outside of my house. I'm a homebody. I don't know a lot of people where I live. And so you guys have given me a way to, make friends. And I feel like you guys are my friends.
This is, in my opinion, a huge red flag. She also admits to inviting Shanny to her house to hang out and possibly swim in a pool. What? But quickly claims it was never going to happen anyway.
Doesn't see, were you really going to let Shanny in the pool? It was one of those things where for that 2 weeks, I was trying to really be nice to her, you know what I mean? And make her feel better, and because she was crying all the time and going on about Rev. So there were things that I said, oh, you should come to Tennessee and hang out. I knew it would never happen. You know what I mean?
Additional issues include when she started accusing every channel who didn't kiss her ass of quote-unquote supporting Shanny's lifestyle. Carrie and her community attacked, doxed, and attempted to dox anyone they decided was guilty of this offense without a shred of proof.
Well, I will say,
in a while. You love Duncan.
I have to say thank you to the simps that are sending them this stuff and trying to stir up all this drama, because this would have been hella boring. Shanny's being hella boring, and that's the way that she always is when she's getting everything she wants. So I don't know, it makes for better content for not to give them money, but I guess if you're going to be giving them money, then stirring up with other people and other creators, that's what you got to do for entertainment. So here we go.
Peep.
Keep in mind too, when you see these people that are donating, whether it's to troll, whatever reason that they have, if it's someone that you're giving, that you donate super chats to or money to, keep in mind that your money is going to Shanny. Just, might want to think about that.
Man, to tell you the truth, I was like, is that CPS?
You said Jules gets off on feeding child abusers. Yeah, I mean, it's what it looks like.
So good.
Or that, or she just gets off on trying to make other people pissed off that she's willing to give child abusers money. I don't know. Look, you know what? If you guys are bothered by these people that claim to be trolling them as well, I'm just gonna say it. If you want to make a point, go unsubscribe. That's the way you can show people how you feel. And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Not tired and awake.
And I've been accused of telling people to unsub from them already, so hey, might as well actually do it. That's the way that you show people how you feel about their content.
Brilliant. All the best characters.
Good for you, Alana.
Let me see.
One channel admitted to giving Shanny $1 to troll her and got her to say some really funny shit. But Carrie threw a fit, acting as though this was some unforgivable sin. Meanwhile, Carrie and her husband said this on a live stream about their friends.
And that's why I was asking, was it the dollars she was giving to make her talk shit about you back then, or was this new?
Right, I think this was new. I don't know if it had anything to do with I just know that she did.
I think the whole thing's crazy.
It's weird, but whatever. They're adults. They can do what they want with their money.
I can go back on board.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same thing about people who friends of ours who do. Like, we know people who give them money.
Yeah.
And
This is on top of the fact that many defectors of her community, including former mods, say behind the scenes Carrie was allegedly encouraging her mods to donate to Shanny and Jason, sending them food and various other things so Carrie can continue to have content. I have zero proof of this, but because so many former mods are publicly saying this, it's hard to ignore. For me, the issue is not comparing how much Carrie gave versus some other channel. No one is quote-unquote supporting Shanny's lifestyle outside of G-Man and the uncle. But it's the double standard that Carrie's subs, friends, and now allegedly her mods are sending them stuff and then wants to turn around and attack channels or subs she doesn't like for doing the exact same thing. At this point, there were subscribers who were increasingly uncomfortable with Carrie, minimizing her relationship with Shanny and Jason, while at the same time talking about inviting Shanny to her home. There were those who side-eyed her from the very beginning, because Carrie claims she was a hate watcher at first, and allegedly only became a member to avoid being blocked, only to enter into a real friendship with them.
And I have to admit, I felt bad for her. I actually did feel bad for her and feel sympathy for her.
Another criticism was she seemed overly emotional about Shanny, often coming across as having a personal vendetta for the failed friendship.
Every single conversation was all about Shanny. That's what Shanny talks about. Shanny talks about Shanny. She doesn't want to hear about other people's lives. She didn't want to hear about my life. She didn't want to hear about things that I do and my thoughts on stuff. She just wanted to talk. She just wanted to talk about herself. Like, that's Shanny. That's why she literally knows nothing about me. Sunflower Sky, did Shanny show any care towards me? Like, about my life? No. In a minute, she's gonna, start talking shit about me, and you'll see then, like, she can't say anything because she literally knows nothing about me because she didn't take the time to talk about it.
We ended amicably. Like, I was there for her.
No, fuck you weren't. How, in what way, Shanny? What way were you ever there for me? That's complete bullshit. You were wrapped up in everything that was going on with you. You weren't there for me.
You know what? That's on her. It's not on me. It's her loss.
People felt as though she only turned on Shanny and started reviewing her because she was embarrassed that Shanny went live and called her out by name several times on June 22nd, 2022, and other subsequent dates. Carrie herself has admitted that that was the day she ended her friendship with them. And of course, this was hard for people, myself included, to comprehend how Carrie could ever feel sorry for a racist, homophobic, scamming child abuser. The thought that after both of these videos, she decided to be their real friend was too much for some people to overlook. Something else that irked subscribers and other content creators that had been around for a long time is the fact that Carrie often gets details about Shanny and Jason wrong. When channels or subs would correct the misinformation, they were demonized by Carrie and her community, accused of gatekeeping, even though those channels were giving Carrie shoutouts, promoting her streams, some were even donating to her. Carrie told her audience that she was pretty sure Jason and Shanny were living in a tent or a camper when they were really in a motel. Another example is when she claimed Jason's uncle gave Shanny $1,500 for bail money to get Jason out of jail when the uncle only gave her $500. Yet another when Carrie was spreading misinformation about parental rights pertaining to Shanny's CPS case. There's so many things she's gotten wrong, I would never get to the end of this if I continued to list them. These may seem like insignificant details, but in the grand scheme of things, it's important because so much incorrect information was being disseminated. This caused a lot of confusion and caused a lot of issues in the Shanny reaction community. And of course, the constant, and I mean constant, lying about every little thing. In 2015, Carrie and her husband started a GoFundMe to help with their bills. Please note that Carrie did have a channel during this time. These posts disappeared when people started asking about it after she said she's never asked for money online for bills.
I have never, ever, not only not scammed anyone, I've never asked anyone for money. Like, they're like, oh, well, she says stuff about Shanny not working and she doesn't work. The difference is, I'm not on here asking for people to give me money. And as long as I'm not expecting anyone else to pay my bills, then I don't really know what the point is. What are you trying to prove?
Yeah,
why is that a problem?
I mean, why lie about it? People fall on hard times. Just say you asked for money for bills back in 2015. What's the big deal? But if she were to say that, she would also have to explain why 48 hours later, she was taking selfies at Olive Garden after they just asked for $3,000 for bills because Michael had lost his job and Carrie was allegedly so riddled with panic attacks and anxiety she couldn't leave her house. I wonder if they thought I didn't have a copy of this. Whoops. Another recent lie was on October 11th, 2023, when one of her community members started posting racist comments about me, all because I give Carrie criticism? Who knew my culture, language, and family was suddenly in jeopardy because a racist Karen was upset over the internet, and Carrie wonders why people say she's running a cult. This person continued to leave dozens of comments on various channels, including mine. When people started tagging Carrie about it, she ignored them. When the pressure continued throughout the day, Carrie sent me a DM on Twitter saying she didn't know where the comments were posted. Not sure why that mattered, but that was also a lie. She had been tagged on YouTube earlier that day telling her where the comments were. She then lied again and again, saying she didn't know the person, that they were just some rando who comes around once in a while, she's never spoken to them, blah blah blah. I simply responded with screenshots of Carrie and the person talking in her Discord back and forth, hitting on another content creator 2 months prior. The racist Karen, as of the making of this video, is still in her Discord and still in her live chats. Even crazier, the waves of Carrie defectors are also claiming she would have quote-unquote emergency mod meetings in her Discord and summon everyone to show up. Like the word summon was actually used. I can't. Oh my god. Allegedly, in one of the meetings, the atmosphere was somber as if someone had died. The head mod, who shall remain nameless, was telling everyone that something really bad had happened, and Carrie was extremely upset about it. Turns out, Carrie had lost 11 subs after kissing the ass of another piece of shit, G-Man, for several hours. She had an emergency mod meeting over losing 11 subs? What even is this? So let me get this straight. She was upset over losing 11 subs, but not for kissing the ass of someone who has threatened to unalive trans people, sexually harassed women, threatened to harass children, threatened revenge on an elderly woman from the community who died of cancer, and who defended Shanny and Jason's treatment of the children for literally years. Speaking of G-Man, Carrie and her husband allegedly said in that mod meeting that G-Man was, quote, a good soul. Here is what they said publicly.
No.
Like a little Christian.
And maybe, you know, we don't know. Maybe he does bring some people to Christ. Maybe, you know what I mean? But it seems to me
I think
like
he has good intentions. I just don't think this isn't doing that.
No. You know, and unless G-Man comes, you know, for me or for anybody, I'll say for anybody. If I see or hear him like doing something really inappropriate or going after somebody, like, then that would definitely make me feel different. But so far, since I've you know, talked to him or whatever, been streaming, been doing these things, I haven't seen him do anything that I would say was that out of line.
You know, it hasn't been done to her, so why should she care? When G-Man showed up at Shanny and Jason's doorstep offering to give them $8,000 in cash, offering to fix Jason's broken down vehicle, and offering to purchase them an RV, Carrie made excuses for why this was nothing and who cares. After she freaked out over trolls giving Shanny a few dollars or spicy pizza, that non-reaction to G-Man's behavior is very odd. It's interesting also considering Carrie and her community still bitch and complain to this day about certain channels trolling Shanny with a few dollars. I'm seeing another pattern here. Carrie and Michael like to befriend people on the internet, defend them, and then demonize anyone who calls it out. If it becomes advantageous for Carrie and her husband to start reviewing G-Man as a lolcow, I wonder if they will turn on him as well. In the end, there's a lot more questions than answers. When exactly did Carrie first start watching Shanny? Was she in Shanny's chats prior to the Cecil McFly documentary? Was she in Shanny's chats prior to the eviction of May of 2021? Is Carrie encouraging her mods to send Shanny food and money so she can continue to have Shanny content? For me, it's very simple. She sought out a real friendship after she knew about the child abuse. That is why I will forever side-eye her. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Now we out here breaking the news. It ain't shit you really could do, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't switched side with no cruise, we just stayed out of the loop. Now we out here letting it loose. Every shot we took it was swoosh. Gotta get it, ain't no excuse. Ain't shit left to prove. Hey, yeah, hey, it's so many lies, so many lies, so many lies. Hey, it's so many lies, so many lies, so many, it's so many, hey, it's so many, yo, it's so many.